have got it up there. I first met Ted Ogden in the late 60s, 1968. He was introduced to me by Lewis Cabot. Lewis Cabot was the husband of Mr. Ogden's niece. And he came up to see me in Bennington in Vermont. I was artist in resident at Bennington College. And I had recently purchased a piece of property, a 27-acre piece of property on a hilltop. And the field was populated with all my work. There were about 20 pieces. Mr. Ogden was a great lover of land. And when he saw that I had these same kind of visions and aspirations of buying land and shaping it and designing it for some real aesthetic purpose, he really warmed to me. I was a little reluctant at the time at the acquisition that I'd done. I thought I was sort of overextending and so on. And he was very encouraging about it. And he said, "Oh no, this is the great move for you to make, and this is the place that your work should be." And he went straight to a couple of pieces that I had sighted in the land. And he very decisively said, "I want that one, and I want that one." The pieces were taken to Storm King, and he liked them so much that he commissioned of me another piece and invited me up to come and see the site. He had a whole arsenal of bobcats and bulldozers, and he just kept moving hills and dales and always felt like building something, because he was there taking part in the decision-making, in the design of the landscape. He was so familiar with every bump and lump in the landscape that he just knew what to put where. He showed me the site, and he said, "I want a piece of sculpture just for the edge of this hill over here." He said, "Well, how big do you think we should make it, because of the vast vistas and size of the grounds?" And I said, well, maybe about 20 feet would do. He said, "Well, whatever you want to do." He said, "That decision is yours." I was a little nervous at the time because my work was more human scale and more intimate, and this would be the first really oversized monumental scale piece that I'd attempted. The challenge I had was to make a sculpture that would articulate itself against the sky, which prompted this innovation of making an overhead plane. Normally one looks directly at sculpture or down on sculpture, but rarely does sculpture actually move over your head. And it seemed to me to be a fresh innovation, which I was very pleased with at the time. And Mr. Ogden recognized it, I think, too, as being something quite innovative. He hadn't quite seen anything like it. He was absolutely thrilled with it, and so was I, which is more important. This was before any notion of site-specific became a kind of a rhetorical aspiration for sculptors. It really was a specific place with a specific piece that seemed to fit. The piece was entitled Kumo. It has a kind of a Japanese feeling about the piece, and Kumo means cloud in Japanese. And we put the piece in place, and it just fit perfectly, like a ring on a finger.